I'm Kate, the Swiftie.
And I'm not Chicken Little.
Is this because I said you looked a little bit like a rooster today?
Yes, I'm not a rooster. Not so
I
Swift
mean, the
Sam.
hair, the red.
Lots of things have hair and can be red. Have you ever been to Ireland? Too soon?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Uh, it's a sad time. We only have 2 weeks of shows left.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're in our
there's only
final 6.
the end of an era again.
End of the Eras tour.
Sorry for my errors when it came to the eras.
Well, we have had some errors on the Eras tour.
The eras error is error.
Eras era has some errors. The surprise songs were surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, she came out with Gracie Abrams.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did Us. She thanked everybody for helping them get the Grammy nomination.
Mm-hmm.
It was so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It was just such a moment. It's like kind of a passing of the torch, it felt like, because in New Orleans, she had Sabrina come out,
Mm-hmm.
and they did some of Sabrina's songs, and like it was a big thing. And then now in Toronto, you've got Gracie coming out on stage, like singing Us with her. It really felt like she's like, here's the next generation coming up behind me.
Which is cool because that it's not something that's like hasn't been done before in the grand scheme, but when it does happen, when you see it's that collaboration as opposed to just competition.
Yeah. And it's funny, I read an article and when I was putting all of my things together, because I leave myself Post-it notes all over the house with like things that I've seen about Taylor. So when I see it, I write it down. And
Yeah.
it's a whole little world I live in up there. But I don't know where I put this one, but I think it was Rolling Stone had an article about how if you love pop stars that write their own songs, think Taylor Swift, these pop girlies, because she made it cool again in the 2000s. Like, you think about the Britneys and the Christinas and all of that pop music that was happening then. They were singing songs that were written for them. They were just going out there and performing and wildly talented, the Katy Perrys.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor, with her guitar, was just strumming away, singing her songs. And now you have Sabrina writing, you have Gracie writing, you have Chapel writing, you have all of these women coming out, writing their own work, standing up there, doing their thing in this like very authentic way. And it's just really fun to see how they're so different.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone is doing their own thing, but they all have that piece in common.
Yeah. The amount of time that it takes and to be your own resource for creating all this material, it can be a giant time suck. It can be the biggest use of your energy, and it becomes it's like in some ways it does take a village. You need someone to help you out, whether it's I'm going to play the guitar, can you jump on the drums or the piano real quick?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I need to find this producer because I have an idea for all the lyrics, but I don't know the sound yet. Like there's all those times you need a collaborator, but at the same point, if it's just you being like, I'm doing at least 40% of this. I'm writing the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea for the chords. I have an idea for that amount of a fingerprint on the song changes everything.
Yeah, I think it just makes it probably so rewarding, but also so hard to read the reviews and the criticism because you've literally put everything of you into it.
Right.
I saw a Spotify session with Gracie Abrams.
Mm-hmm.
She and her best friend were sitting on stage talking about writing her like new breakout song, So True.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh yeah, there's a longer version and it's so raunchy, it will never see the light of day. Like Spotify would never let us stream it. And they were on the roof of Electric Ladies where Taylor records and where Jack has an office. And the studio owner calls and was like, hey, just want to let you know that Mumford and Sons is upstairs doing an interview on the top roof. They were on the rooftop deck on below very drunk, making this very inappropriate song.
Mumford were making...
Mumford was doing an interview.
While she's very drunk making an inappropriate song. Okay.
Yeah. So, you never know who's going to hear your work. And then she's on stage with Taylor Swift.
When she was being very loud and drunk and making a raunchy song, was Mumford & Sons singing back, I will wait for you, to pick up the interview again?
She didn't.
Who's to say?
Maybe that's not something she felt like sharing. It's a special moment between the
Toronto was good for Taylor.
Toronto is great for Taylor.
Toronto was good for Gracie.
Toronto is great for Gracie.
We have 2 more stops in the Great White North.
Nope, one more of Toronto.
One more of Toronto.
And then Vancouver.
Then Vancouver. Going west.
Yeah.
Well.
And you know, Toronto, Vancouver, TV, Taylor's version.
Coincidence?
I think maybe.
I think not. I think not because I think nothing.
Well, you know, in between that, we get to go to Target.
Right. Papa, you're so pleased right now, aren't you?
I don't go to Target for Taylor things generally.
I don't go to Target generally. I've been there once in the past year.
Okay.
I had a Target delivery last week.
What do we need to go to Target for?
We have to buy the Tortured Poets Department anthology.
Can we please get the Tortured Parents Department? I would much rather get this Monty Python-esque concoction creation at Target. Target.
And then we have to get her Errors for Coffee Table book.
Long live.
No, that's not the book that we have to get at Target. But yes, we got sent another book, guys.
I see that.
This is my favorite PR. Some people get makeup. Some people get clothing. Some people get fancy hair dryers.
If you can get the Spotify deal of you become the official reader of a lot of these books for Audible.
I would die. I would, Spotify,
Audible, hit her up.
I'm here. Call if you need me.
We're going to need a bigger shelf soon.
Yeah, we are, because I think there's one more coming.
I'll have to talk to the construction guys.
Okay.
If I were to get offered that, would it be similar to like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, where the official like Taylor correspondent for like what, USA Today or whatever it was?
Was a man.
Yeah. How bad would that be if I'm like, and there I was at my desk looking at Drew and Drew looked at me.
And I wrote my first hit. I mean, people have come to terms with the USA Today writer. He's made some friends in the Swiftie influencer community.
Swifluencers.
Is he following the Swift Talk?
No.
We all make mistakes.
But we got sent Long Live, the definitive guide to the folklore and fandom of Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been written by Nicole Pomerero. Sorry, Nicole, I completely butchered your name. But it's very fun, beautiful. And you can buy it starting December 3rd anywhere you buy books.
Is that Pomerico?
Pomerico?
Yeah, I think so.
And it's so...
Pomerico.
You're going to get a lot... So it's... When I hear folklore, when it comes to Taylor, I just think of an album. But I'm not so Swift. What are some things about the folklore, Kate, that a fan could find out in this book?
Well, it does cover all the eras, including the Tortured Poets Department, and all the assorted Easter eggs that we have hatched.
It's turning into a comedy show every week.
I know, we're funny today.
I feel like this was the only...
tired.
This was my not THC, that's being high. What's the show, the channel that you sell all the wares on? QVC. This was my QVC moment of being like, so Kate, I don't know what this thing does. What do you think it does?
Do you know that my second career ambition was to be a host on QVC?
I got a friend from high school that's a host on QVC.
Stop it.
It's one of the Coffin girls. Is it Rachel or is it man? I think it's Rachel Coffin. Yeah.
QVC,
what a dream.
I am also here.
What a dream.
I know. I'm like...
We can't lose you to QVC. Because then Sam and I are not doing...
We could lose her. It's not that we can't. We don't want to, but we could. They could be like, Kate, come to QVC.
And then what are we going to do? Then
Come to QVC.
Then we're fired.
We'll be calling up to be like, oh, what's that vacuum cleaner like? Are those curtains embroidered? Just so we can talk to Kate. We'll be calling in to be like, I have 14 of those rugs. They're the best. Kate, we miss you.
I would never leave you guys on the podcast.
It's just you and I in this podcast room waiting for Kate to come back from
QVC.
New York.
Should we play that song next week, Sam? No, I don't want to play that song. All right, let's talk about something else. Yeah.
Let's call Kate.
Oh, yeah.
See what song she wants to play.
I think QVC's in like the Midwest.
I
think they have a couple.
Yeah, there's one in New York.
Yeah. Well, so if it's New York, I could be back for Tuesdays, guys. Don't you worry. QVC, I'm available. Yeah, very available.
You need to fly me back to Portsmouth for my podcast.
I take a train, a bus. I'm a low maintenance girl, QVC. Anyway, back to what we're supposed to be talking about, as now we've pitched me to read Taylor Swift books for Spotify and sell for QVC. But this one is full of fun illustrations and takes you through all the eras. So if you have a young, curious Swiftie, or you are new to the Swiftie fandom, this is a great place to start. If you're an established Swiftie, it's really fun to like take that wander through memory lane.
Sure. I mean, you might even find some things that you didn't even consider yet, or you are the super fan, but there might be information you don't know about yet.
Yeah. Well, and like, there's just so much information that I was flipping through and caught some things where I was like, oh, I don't know if I knew that. So yeah, it was a fun, like, I haven't had a whole lot of time because it just came in, but I did peruse it earlier and really enjoyed it.
Yeah. You might find something cover to cover. There might be something written on the sides of the pages. Who knows?
Who could say?
You could say. You could if you buy this book. Buy this book and learn to read.
When can they buy it?
December 3rd.
And where can they buy it?
Wherever books are sold.
Mm-hmm. So thank you, Nicole, and thank you, Running Press, for sending this to us. We always love a good new Taylor Swift merch to display. And we are supposed to do Swiftie quiz today, but we have to figure out a better way of doing it because our listeners had no idea what we were talking about.
Okay.
So we'll be back next week with that.
Yeah, we'll troubleshoot.
Yeah, we're going to test some things out before we come back strong.
Yeah. Speaking of come back strong, new season.
It is a new season. It's our 15th season.
15th season.
Almost, halfway to 30.
Halfway to 30.
It's like a full album.
We're almost 30, almost flirty.
How many streams do we got by now on
I
Spotify?
haven't looked. Well, let's look. Did you download the app yet?
No.
Is he allowed? I don't think you allowed
No,
us
he's
to
allowed to have the app.
I think
He's
you
not
blocked us
allowed-
out of everything, right, Sam?
While you look it up, I'm going to
Are you going to look at our books?
give us a Swiftie quiz.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. Swiftie quiz by Abby James and Victoria Lynn.
Hi, Abby and Victoria.
Volume 1, which means there's going to be more. So we're going to look at
one
each of
can
these
only
things
hope.
as a photo, and it wants you to figure out the lyric.
The lyric.
Yeah. So it says lyrics underlined underneath whatever photo I pop up. Let's see here. Jason, there's a photo that I'm pointing to camera now. Two people sitting next to each other blindfolded
It looks like Dr. Dre and Eazy-E.
with
see.
wine in front of them. It's a man and a woman, but
Oh,
I
I
can see
can't
how
see
from
it
that
from there.
distance and it says times 30 at the bottom.
Times 30.
I think it's
Champagne
Is It Over
problems.
Now?
So it looks like possibly a blind tasting times 30.
Champagne
I think
problems.
it's blind dates.
Blind dates, 30 blind dates.
Well, times 30. How many blind dates are there in that?
There are 10.
Yeah, so
That's
300 blind
300.
dates later.
That's the lyric.
Yes, from Is It Over Now?
I thought it was
Okay, game over.
takeout coffees.
That too.
That too? Learning so much. And you could learn this too. If you buy Swiftie Quizzes and Long Live and Taylor Swift is Life.
You know it's long live, right?
I know it is. They don't.
And then if you want to know about Taylor's fashion, hold on. We've got Taylor Swift Styled. And then if you've got a little one, we've got Taylor Swift by Little People Big Dreams. We really got to just go through them starting next week for our holiday.
That'll be our secondary podcast. Learning to read with Taylor Swift.
I'll make you do it for, here, pull this one.
I still don't know why you guys haven't written a book yet. As Kate looks at me like, oh my God, let's do that.
No, as Kate looks at you with what time, when.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'd rather read other people's.
Oh, okay.
All right, then I'll rate it.
We'll talk about them. Okay. Sold. Anyway, speaking of Taylor's eras,
Mm-hmm.
her first re-record, Fearless. Do you want to guess what number it is on the country charts right now?
Country charts.
13?
Nope.
2.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, it's within striking distance of number one.
But Fearless was re-recorded.
In April of 21?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has it just like been living in the top 10 for
Yeah, I mean, it
3
comes
years?
and goes, but it's
now
making
just
a run
it's
for it again.
resurfaced?
Do you know, it spent 46 weeks at number one, and the last time it crept up into number one was in August. So it goes up, and then it kind of settles back down. So, I am currently listening to Fearless, Taylor's version, at home, writing on my Post-it notes.
It doesn't get Is it taxing for in your tier of fandom?
I'm a
To
mid-level Swiftie.
Yeah, you're at the moderator portion where you do talk to the general public, but you also,
Yeah.
you can get everyone to invest into your level, which will promote you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it get taxing to be like, which album do I need to listen to this month, or is it just picking up your flavor, or is it?
I actually was in a little bit of a Fearless, but usually I kind of do it by seasons. Like I really like Red in the fall, but I don't know. I fell into a couple Fearless songs. I was like, oh, I'll listen to this. Fearless, the song is one of my favorite Swift Taylor songs.
Red in the Fall.
Red in the fall.
Red in the fall. Taylor put her cardigans for sale again, and I was so excited because I don't own the cardigan for the album Red, and I was like, all right, here we go. It's my chance. And it was sold out. It was so mad.
It's always eBay.
Yeah, I'd rather pay $70 than $300
Yeah.
or whatever it costs on eBay. Because
Yeah.
there's like, okay,
guys
well,
are
I have
just-
Tortured Poets, I have Midnights, I have Speak Now, I have.
And when do you wear these?
Oh, I wear them occasionally.
Do they say like the words on them?
So the 1989 one is still in the packaging because it's bright blue and it's got seagulls on it. It's not quite my taste, but I wear
But
the
you had
Tortured.
to have it.
Yeah. How else is she going to stay a billionaire with all the money she gives away? These are. I was at work Friday night, and this woman came in. She was wearing the Midnight's cardigan, and I lost my marbles. I was like, "I love your cardigan." And she's like, oh, "You know?" And I was like, "I know."
Does she know how much you know?
She does know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Figured as much. Yay, that's great.
And then, while Taylor's on tour, she's a busy girl. She made a baby blanket for one of the fellow Chiefs Wags' new baby.
I'm still getting used to wags. Okay.
I know you are. So I look for ways to enter it into the chat.
So the wife and or girlfriend of one of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, the guy who scored the winning touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Tell us how you really feel, Kate.
Questionable taste there. But,
Is having or has had a baby.
has a baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
And Auntie Taylor made her a baby blanket while she was on tour. And like this wasn't just like one of those fun like you knit. Like this is from all accounts, a sewn baby blanket.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor, it's been reported that Taylor's aunt made her one when she was little, so she wanted to do this for this little girl. Could you imagine?
I mean, her name is Taylor Swift, so yes, I could imagine her sewing something like a tailor.
I got it.
And then doing it fast.
Yeah,
Swift.
she's swiftly Taylor.
I hope it doesn't shrink where that invisible string gets pulled. I don't know.
It's always possible.
It is.
And then we're going to end our Taylor topics, Taylor hot topics, with Maddie Healy, not our favorite person in the world right now.
Right.
He posted to his Instagram story that he was listening to Downtown Lights, but not the one by Blue Nile, a cover by Annie Lennox, which was brave because the Swifties, we swarmed. So there's a song in Guilty as Sin, which I don't know if we've done that one. I can't remember. But it says, drowning in the Blue Nile, he sent me downtown lights. And then he put Downtown Lights up as his Instagram story today, or yesterday. And we were like, wait a minute.
Okay. Pretend I have no idea what any of this means.
Is that an Easter egg a reverse Easter egg that we need to know about?
Well, I mean, he's basically saying, like, he's downtown. So he's basically saying that he is the guy in Guilty as Sin. He's confirming. And, like, you have to realize, because the lyrics start with, sometimes I walk away when all I really want to do is love and hold you right. There is just one thing I can't say. That's how that song starts. So we know that he love bombs and then he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how we got to today's song. It was very topical. Like, I was very grateful that he did this because it's such a perfect lead-in to The Smallest Man That Ever Lived.
Which is a song about possibly Maddie Healy.
Hypothetically, theoretically, no one wants to get sued here on the Swift Talk.
And if you don't want to sue us but want to hire Kate for the QVC
Or Spotify.
or Spotify or Audible,
Well, Spotify, if you picked up the podcast, then you could have both. Then you could I could do both.
look at us, best of both worlds.
See, Spotify, we're here for you.
All right, so we're going into the smallest man that ever lived.
Yes.
Not to be confused with the smallest man alive. Not to be confused with the smallest man on earth. Or Portugal the Man.
Or the tallest man on earth.
Or the Man Band. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to get them all out now.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to hit pause.
You hit pause.
We're going to listen to the Tortured Poets Department's Smallest Man Who Ever Lived.
Not the Tortured Parrot Departments. That's a different one. And let's just say there's a lot of squawking in that. But we'll give you a beak.
We're going to take a beat. We'll be right back. Well, Sam.
Dude, are you kidding me? What is this? What is this?
Perfection. in a
Perfection?
song. Yeah.
Kate, I have in 15 seasons of the Swift Talk, a Taylor Swift podcast, I have listened to many a song. I have had many an opinion. I have had many strong opinions. I've had many weak opinions. I've had things that I'm like,
And
surprise,
many wrong
surprise.
opinions.
Well, all opinions are wrong until they're facts. This is such a... Like, I don't even know what this is, dude. I don't know what this is. Is this the invention of the Rubik's
How
Cube?
can you not love a song that leads with, was any of it true?
It doesn't lead with
Oh,
that.
it leads with a sigh.
Why? You said it was important. You said it was important. You started the song over because we did not hear the sigh.
It's so important.
Why is the sigh... Okay. Why is the sigh important?
Because it just sets the tone.
It sets the tone?
She's about ready to let something off of her chest.
So she has another confession to make. She's your fool.
You know, when you can say, I don't even want you back, I just want to know if resting my sparkling summer was the goal. It was. He did.
I'm going to be sighing a lot. It's not an Easter egg. I'm just letting everyone know that who's listening.
You got a lot to get off your chest over there, Sammy.
This is such... Okay, the angst, the cathartic,
Okay, wait, hold on. But I just want you to imagine being in a stadium of 70,000 people screaming you didn't measure up to any measure of a man.
That's because he's the smallest man in the world, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Treat her like an also ran. You hung me on your wall. You stabbed me with your push pins.
Has she been playing this in tour?
This is
song?
part of the Tortured Poets. There's a whole, like, she's marching and the dancers are behind her with the drums. Like she's going to war. Like going to the Revolutionary War.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
And while this song is playing?
Yes.
Why? What?
Why?
What?
Because he's British.
What?
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
What
He's British.
Are you... Okay, you might need to spill a little bit more tea because I don't feel invited to this party. I don't see how... What? Revolution because he's British, maybe, if it's what we're talking about?
We're going to war. Rest our sparkling
This isn't
summer.
a going to war song. In 50 years, I'll forget you, but I'll never forgive.
We forgot about people we went to war with. We haven't forgiven them.
What?
I don't know. I figured I could throw that out. I was like, I'm
No.
gonna throw this out there. You know, like, I don't need to forgive you to forget you.
Oh my God. This.
Yeah.
Kate,
Sam.
there's so many conflicts of interest in this song.
Do tell, Ricky Bell.
I feel like I'm in stoned oblivion right now because I don't know which way is up as I go down this rabbit hole.
You want to start from the very beginning? It's a very great place to start.
And I don't even want you back. I just want to know if rusting my sparkling summer was the goal. I don't miss what we had, but could someone give a message to the smallest man who ever lived? Okay. Taylor is saying either I don't have the time, the energy, the patience. There's so many reasons for me not to reach out to this person. Could somebody just, maybe do this for me? And reach out to the smallest man who ever lived, who doesn't measure up in any measure of a man, and yet we still say they are a man.
Well, he's the smallest.
So they measure up in one quality. They measure up in the least quantifying notation. They are the least significant man.
Yeah, because you can't like.
So there's a measure.
We're talking about you, but we're not.
Hey man, either he who must not be named or it's Voldemort. Either you say he must not be named because you're too afraid to say their name, or you say Voldemort because you're like, I'm not scared of him.
So you have to think about it this way. This is very like, and we've talked about this before. This is like reading her diary, where you're a little like, oh, okay, we said that. We not only put that in writing, but we recorded it, put it on an album, and sent it into the world. And you're like, she's going through it, and she was really angry, and I get it. Like, they had been this will they, won't they? They met back like 10 years ago in 2014, the end of like the 1989. He was wearing her tour shirt. She was wearing his. There was some flirtation, something happening then. There's a lot of thoughts that like the scrapped album Karma has some stuff about Maddie Healy on it. It just, the timing wasn't right. And you think about it, and this comes up later in the discography of Taylor in the Tortured Poets. But he was kind of like, you'll grow up and you'll come back. And he came back, but he hadn't grown up. And he's this rock star who has substance problems, who has emotional problems, who's very unstable. And the fans are like, this guy's kind of trash, Taylor. And then the fans are also like, but you know what? You've been in a relationship for years. Get it out of your system. Live your life. And, I think when you have those bookends of breakups where you've been in a relationship for so long and it just ends, and it's sad and it's devastating, but you saw it coming. You knew it was coming. You've mentally prepared for it. You're ready for the end. It sucks. It's hard. It's over. And then she got into this relationship that was like a flash. And she got love bombed, and he was there, and he said all the right things, and he was fun, and he was different, and it was all of this, like, what could have been is, and then he's gone, ghosted her, gone. And she has to get out there and put a smile on and be like, everything is magic and rainbows. Welcome to the Eras Tour.
Were you sent by someone who wanted me dead?
Oh, this bridge.
So, okay. Obviously, you're going to be the death of me. Someone wants me dead. That's why you're in my life.
Well, and she's very paranoid about the people that she lets in after the whole Kanye thing.
Did you sleep with a gun underneath our bed? Mm-hmm. Because you're somebody who's like...
Were you going to kill me while I'm sleeping?
Well, are you going to kill me while you're sleeping? Are you just going to wake up with violence in mind?
Yeah.
Were you writing a book? Are you just here to gather all the information about me? Were you a sleeper cell spy? Are you like really trying to learn all of my secrets? Mm-hmm. In 50 years, will all this be declassified?
Mm-hmm. And you'll confess why you did it.
And I'll say good riddance. So great. I'm glad it's done. It's been admitted. Mm-hmm. Bye. Because it wasn't sexy once it wasn't forbidden. I would have died for your sins. Instead, I just died inside.
You deserve prison, but you won't get time.
So this right here is essentially saying, like, she's reasoning that the reason he ghosted and bailed is because she became comfortable. She became a safe place. She was not... her turbulence in life wasn't matching his turbulence in life. So because it wasn't that chaotic, because it was more calming down, he's like, well, I got to get out of here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think when you go up in the song a little bit and you see, like, once your queen has come, you treat her like an also ran. So Taylor's saying, like, I was this ungettable goal for you. Like I was unreachable, out of your league, out of your atmosphere, never going to go there. And then here we are now. You have me, and now the fun is gone. The thrill of the chase is over. And you're like, it was more fun to chase. This reality of your life, not so fun. And that's got to be a real mental like hit for Taylor because she'd just come out of Joe, who was like, I do not want to date the world's biggest pop star. Like, I do not want to marry the world's biggest pop star. No, thank you. Not what I signed up for. And she's like, Maddie gets it. Like, he's really into this. He supports me. He thinks this is a great idea. And then he's like, nah. And he's gone.
So keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind because essentially she's gone from one relationship where he's saying like, this is my ideal person and I'm choosing you, but you're still not the ideal person yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next guy is being like, yeah, I think this is great and you should totally do that. We could do this together. We can blow up. You said normal girls are boring.
Yeah.
And you left the next day.
You're not normal. And then he's like gone and he's dating some influencer who in their world, that's a normal basic thing to be. I guess he's engaged to this influencer.
So, look at how you just said normal because it's two different things.
Uh-huh.
If he's telling Taylor, normal girls are boring. You're not a normal girl. You're interesting. You have my interest. You have my interest. I want to be involved. And then he's gone with no hint of anything. So is Taylor being left to feel like I'm just a normal person?
I think my take on this, and I could be wrong here, is that Joe wanted a normal girl. Mm-hmm. And Maddie said, normal girls are boring. Who wants a normal girl? And then he also left her. So Joe didn't want...
So both...
Like, she can't win.
Mixed messages.
She can't win here. Messages. Yeah. It's a mental... messes with your mind. I don't want to get the E on Spotify, so I'm going to choose my words carefully here.
You crashed my party and your rental car, so we already know it's not...
Well, I mean, we're talking
not
about how he's buying pills from friends of friends.
Yeah. You're a car wreck, you wreck cars. It's two different types of crashes.
Yeah.
Neither one of them
are good.
Yeah. Yeah. This song is... I don't know if... I'm going to say this, and you're going to hate it, one, because I'm making a joke. Two, you're going to hate it because it makes sense to me, and it doesn't make sense to you, possibly.
Okay.
And three, it's going to, in my eyes, it's going to paint the clearest picture. This song is like watching Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
Was that the one about James?
It's the actual movie, but the James Franco one is about that movie.
Okay. So it's like the world's most expensive train wreck of a movie that doesn't make sense, but became a cult classic?
Yes.
Okay.
So
was that the joke?
I think I think you just nailed it on the head. Cult classic, cult of Taylor Swift. The fandom's gonna love it. I'm looking at it being like, what does that mean something? Because they all like it. I feel like I just walked into Rocky Horror Picture and have never seen it before. So everyone's throwing toast when they say toast, or calling Janet or Brad like they're doing the call and responses. I'm like, I don't get it. And so my mind with 15 seasons, this is trying to piece things together, and I can't keep up with none of this.
Yes.
This is I'm the also ran here.
And I mean, I've made this point a couple times. This album is for Taylor.
Yeah.
This album was not written for
anyone else. It's not for human consumption.
For Taylor. And I think, the older Swifties, the elders, the old ladies.
The seasoned Swifts.
As I got called, middle-aged Swifties.
Who the hell said that to you?
I got called that on TikTok.
Do we ban those people?
I'm just happy the kid didn't call me old. I'll take the middle-aged.
Hey, man.
You give me his name and number.
Every day you beat your own personal best for consecutive days alive.
Exactly. I mean, technically, I'm as young as I'll ever be.
Yeah, I'm only dead inside, so it's all good.
But I think the ones who have had those traumatic moments, those traumatic breakups, had to immerse themselves in the album. Whenever, this is another one of the Taylor albums that you listen to the first time and you're kind of like, huh? And then you get into it and you're like, yes, okay, I see it now. It's like when you look at a Jackson Pollock and you're like, okay, he threw some paint, there's some cigarettes, like what's going on here? And then the more you look at it, you're like, oh, the angels, I see it.
The
The interpretation of art.
the stripped down piano going into more of that percussive and
Mm-hmm.
like electric beat for the, especially going to the bridges like that. The Nationals guy who's
Aaron Dessner.
helping her with this, that fingerprint's there.
Oh, yeah, this is a very Dessner song.
The syncopation of the song, it's
Very Dessner.
mm-hmm. But I feel like if I don't know anything about Taylor, I'm going to have not a lot of attachment. Hearing this song as it is, none of it grabbed me in a way that's going to keep me in the song. It made me question more things than anything.
I think, again, this is a song for the Swiftie. Like, this
Yeah.
is not this album is not an entry-level album. This is
No.
not like, it's not like, oh, like, I want to learn more about Taylor Swift. What do you recommend I start with? You're not like, you would really love the Tortured Poets department. I really love the Tortured Poets department. I think this is really interesting work from her. I think it's her expressing what's happening in her day-to-day in a way that, like, we've not seen yet, but yet still feels very authentic to Taylor. I think it's an interesting way of her working through the devastation and the heartache, because now she's so past it. Like, you can tell she has, like, I don't think seeing Maddie Healy's Instagram story of the Blue Nile's Downtown Lights, Taylor's gonna be like, she's gonna be like, oh God, anything for attention, Matthew. Like, I think she's just like, and I could be wrong. I don't know her personally. But she seems to be in this place where she's in a stable, normal, healthy relationship where the families really like each other, and it's very peppermint candy Christmas morning, matching pajamas feel, and she seems to be really good. And again, who could say? I don't know her. Like, we're not.
Sure.
But
she knows her fans, and she knows that if anyone's going to deliver this message to him, it's going to be the fans.
oh yeah, we saw it. And we're like, but it's also like we talked about. We're doing this song because it came up from the BFFs podcast. Brianna Chicken Fried. This song got her into Swiftyism because she went through this very traumatic breakup with what I think Zach Bryant would qualify as the smallest man on earth. And now she's like digging deep, and so she's like, oh, you'll like this one. Check out this devastating heartbreak song. Oh, we've got one for you. We're a great emotional support system.
I feel like I need an emotional support system after this. This is, I don't know, man. Like, look, I'm not being like, this is the worst song I've ever heard. I'm just saying, like, I don't get it.
Well, when we get off air, is that what we call this? I'll show you the concert footage of her doing this, and then I think you'll get it.
Okay. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
With the drums.
When I don't, and I tear it apart.
And the drums.
At least there won't be audio recording of.
I know, that's why I didn't show it to you earlier.
All right. Let's get off the pod. Let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Each and every week, we roll the Jillian Petruzziello. How are you and your fellow die? We hope that even if it's even though soon the ground will be white, we hope that you're living on the green and you're getting a hole in one. We're going to roll for an album. We're going to roll for a song.
Okay. I'm ready.
We have 12? 11.
11.
All right. Rolling for 11. Back to the Tortured Parrots.
You've got like 30-something songs there.
30-something songs.
So we got to be like more on the back half.
Can we do an addition? Can I roll like twice?
Yeah, I think we have to because we've done a lot of the front half. We haven't really gotten to the back half.
All right, we're going to roll. Let's see here. 9. That's a good start.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah, baby. Natural 20. What up, what up?
That's a good thing in your world, right?
It's a great thing in my world. That means absolute success. So 29.
Does that mean absolute success?
Natural 20?
Well, I mean, if we're doing 29.
Yeah, you can add modifiers in D&D. What is a modifier? We had a +9. We had a +9 to our Taylor. Yeah, so 29.
The Bolter.
The Bolter.
Yeah.
Woo,
I really,
riveting.
really like this song, so I
Is this
imagine.
another one about hypothetically the same
Did
person?
she
we
date Usain Bolt? The Blade Runner?
No.
The fastest man without legs? Maybe that would explain the gun underneath the bed thing more. This is a deep cut for
So
people
thank
who
you
know.
so much for listening. If you haven't already, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, rate, review, tell all of your friends. We're at 110,000 streams.
Yeah. If you know the difference between Usain Bolt and Oscar Pistorius, please let us know. If you're working for QVC or Audible or Spotify and you want to hire the fantastic Kait, let her know.
If you have any Taylor Swift fan merch that you would like us to talk about, send it on. We'll chat it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. Thank you for helping us get to 15 seasons.
Crazy.
Crazy. Thank you, Jason, for helping us get to 15 seasons.
Oh,
Jason,
you're welcome.
who didn't think we'd make it to episode 10.
I didn't think you'd make it to episode 5.
One day when we do our tell-all book.
I will leave a lot of pages empty, and it'll be my blank space contribution.
Sammy.
Hmm?
It's a Taylor Swift folklore thing.
I don't know. I haven't read the book, so I don't know much about the folklore.
Again, thanks so much for listening. We're going to be back next week
Yeah.
with
Usain Bolt.
The Bolter off Tortured Poets. So thanks again for listening. I'm Kait, your Swiftie.
And I'm not getting this song, but maybe someday. Not so Swift Sam.
Thought you'd be like, and I am not the smallest man who ever lived. But, opportunities.
I think that goes without saying.
It's true. That's true. Thanks again. We'll see you next week.